Hello and welcome back. And if you're new, welcome. My name is Marvelous Marva, and today I wanted to talk about creating a life that you don't need a vacation from. Have you created this for yourself? How is your life treating you? How do you feel about life? Do you feel that you constantly need to take a break, take a vacation? Are you looking forward to the next vacation? Well, for the first time in my life, I feel like I am not looking outside for a vacation. Like I'm actually living the life that I want to live, and my life actually kind of feels like a vacation daily. So, a quick story. I moved to Galveston about a year ago, and at first, I wanted to move to Mexico because I thought, that would be the best thing to get out of the United States, to go to Mexico, to go somewhere else. I tried it out for a couple of days. I went there and it just didn't sit with me. So I came back and Spirit led me to here. And I realized that it was the path of least resistance because my children want to be here in Texas and they want to be near me and I want to be near them. I don't have my mom with me. I don't have a father with me. It's just me and my children. So it worked out perfectly. So today I was driving along the beach and I got up super early first. And the reason I got up super early this morning was because there is a yoga class that's happening on the beach every week now. And I was like, yeah, I'm ready to go do it again. I did it once and this would be the second class. So I was excited to go do it. Got up, went out there. I'm on the beach. I'm on the sand, watching the ocean, watching people walk by with their dogs and cats. Or not cats, but just watching people walk by. And I was just thinking to myself, like, wow, I'm finally living a life that I don't feel like I need a vacation from. I worked for years for one of the larger banks, and it was nice. It was great for me. It was a great vehicle for me to raise my kids and to grow and to have stability and to take care of all of my needs. So I'm appreciative of that experience. But I know that every year when I was there, I'd be thinking about my next vacation. And not only me, my coworkers as well, we would plan it far in advance. Our next vacation, where we're going to go next, when we're going to leave. Like, we were ready to be off all the time. The next holiday, Memorial Day, like all the holidays, we were ready to be off because being at work, can be frustrating. And a lot of us want to do something else with our times besides just being, at a job in a building or just doing something that, is not something that we would probably want to be doing in that moment. So it was good for me to have that experience. And as my kids got older, I started to realize that I could have a different experience if I wanted to. And I didn't know what that looked like or how I was going to get it. Like I said, I went all the way to Mexico to try to find it. I was following a lot of people online that were expats and that were leaving the U.S. and going to Thailand and going to all these other places to live, to save money, to create a easier life for themselves. And I decided to just stay here. And in staying here, I've realized that I don't feel like I need to hurry and plan another vacation because just being on the beach this morning felt like vacation. When you go on vacation, usually, like, say for instance, you go to Jamaica or you go to Bali or an island somewhere, and you wake up early and you have your breakfast, you watch the sunrise, you do all these things that you wouldn't normally do when you're at home. Because when you're at home, your focus is on, I got to get up, I got to get to work, if you have kids, I got to get the kids together. If you have a partner, I got to make sure my partner is set. If you have pets, I got to make sure my pets are set. Like, we have all these responsibilities, and so we're not really focused on like enjoying those responsibilities. We're just trying to get through them. And so I was just looking around and I was just like, wow, this feels like vacation. And I find myself feeling like this often. And when people come in to visit me, I tell them, like, it makes my spirit smile when I look around outside and I see other people come into town with their families, and they're smiling and they're on the sand, they're setting up their little area, and mom, dad, kids, or boyfriends, girlfriends, I don't know who they are. I'm making all these stories up as I'm perceiving people, but it just brings joy to me because these people are coming in, and this is what feels like vacation. So in moving here, one of the first things that I did was I spent a lot of time by myself. So that was number one. Number two was I definitely, got a job. And my job, I tried a few jobs for the first time in my life when I moved out here. For the first time in my life, I'm telling y'all, when I moved out here, I tried different jobs. I allowed myself to work at a job and then quit. And normally that would not have been the norm for me. I stayed at my last job at the bank for well over 12 years. And before that, I was a courier for a international delivery package company for almost 8 years. I would not have left because I really enjoyed being a courier. I like that environment. I would not have left if they didn't lay us all off. But it was good that it happened, because taking the added stress away from being a courier to being now like a banker, it proved to myself that I could do something different, something that was a little bit more mentally challenging than just driving around packages and delivering them. So I did all of that, and I tried 3 jobs when I first moved here. I quit those jobs. I tried them for as long as, I could. And I listened to myself. For a change, I started listening to myself. I listened to myself and I was like, I don't want to work here anymore. So I quit and I found another job. What that taught me by allowing myself to do that, what that taught me was that there's a ton of jobs, and anytime you want to make a change, you can, because there's going to be, as soon as you let go of one thing, something better comes in. So each one of the jobs that I had, it was like a graduation to the next thing. Each job was better than the one before. And now, the last job that I have so far, this is my 4th job being here. I work from home, doing customer service, kind of still in the same realm of being a banker. I enjoy doing this. I don't feel stressed out. I love my schedule, things like that. So that was like the second thing that I did. I made sure that I, had a job, allowed myself to shift jobs if I needed to, and without being, frustrated at myself or just downing myself, saying, why aren't you sticking to one thing? The third thing that I did was I allowed myself to get out into the community. I got out into the community and I started to meet people, and I went to the farmers market. I went to the downtown area, to art exhibits, to the library, to the gym. I found where the community center was. I went there. I just started exploring, and I started creating relationships with people, forming friendships, and that definitely became a great vehicle for me to grow even more. It allowed me to really feel like a sense of peace and happiness and belonging and community because I put myself out there. The third thing that I did was, or the fourth thing that I did was I got rid of things that weren't serving me. So there was a lot of Mercury retrogrades that happened, throughout last year, and they're always happening. But with the awareness now that I'm understanding that, it's a time that you can actually kind of like examine what's working in your life and what's not, it allowed me to try to go backwards and try some of the things that I've tried before and see how it feels now, with my new frame of mind. So I tried drinking, and before I was afraid of drinking. Because years ago I was an alcoholic, and then I quit, and after I quit, I became so afraid of drinking that I would just avoid it at all costs. And then moving out here and making friends and allowing myself to just be a part of community, I was like, now is a time for me to test the waters and see. So I tried drinking, and I've learned that I have a really good relationship with it. The things that I thought that, weren't good was actually good. I know how to socially drink. I don't crave drinking at home. I don't really crave drinking, period. But if I'm out socially, I don't tell myself, no, you can't have a drink. If I want to have a drink, I will have a drink. And everything is okay. So I allowed myself to go backwards, reevaluate and see, who is this new person now, and how does she respond to her environment and people around her. The next thing that I did, this would probably be the fifth thing I did, was I definitely was more aware of my time and my peace. And in the beginning, I spent a lot of time alone. So that was a real big thing to teach me that I need to be aware of my time. And just because someone asks me to do something doesn't mean that I have to. If I don't really want to, then I shouldn't. And I think that's where a lot of us get burnt out and feel tired and feel like we need a vacation from our lives, because we want to make others happy. We don't want to let people down, but at the expense of letting our own selves down and feeling burnout and feeling internally angry, but not expressing it. And so it's good to guard your time, be mindful of your time. And just because someone asks you to go do something, you don't have to say yes to it. You can say no, and that's okay. It's always going to be another opportunity that comes up. Don't think of it as the last moment or you missed out. There's always going to be more opportunities. As long as you're alive and breathing, there's always going to be more opportunities, more people asking you to do things. I'm not saying for when it comes to parents having children to not do for your kids, but for those extra outside things, like friends asking you to do a lot of things, or adult parents asking you to do a lot of things. It's just boundaries. That's what it is. The word is boundaries. Just remember to have boundaries and to not overextend yourself, because that is going to make you feel like you need a vacation from your life. And also with jobs, I've noticed with the job that I have now, sometimes they offer overtime, and I see my colleagues jumping at it, yeah, sign me up, I want to do all the overtime. And inside of myself, I'm like, I want life to still feel like a vacation. I know that the universe is going to take care of me, so I don't have to overwork myself, especially if I don't want to do something that, is not going to completely benefit me. So I think people are also referring to that as like the soft life, because back in the day, we thought that we needed to have like 2 jobs at a time, 2, 3 jobs, just in order to take care of our needs. But if you slim down to just one job, working the hours that, you know, are under 40 hours or maybe even less than that, you realize that your needs will still be taken care of. You'll still have all of your needs met. And if not, then that is a reason why it would be good for you to let go of things that are not serving you. Remove unneeded possessions, responsibilities, bills, things like that from yourself, because you're working hard to take care of something that is not adding value to you. It's taking away from your health and from your happiness. So, another way to make sure that you are creating a life that you don't need a vacation from is to appreciate whatever season you are in your life. If you are a child, if you're a teenager, if you are a young adult in your 20s, or if you're married or single, you have kids, you are an empty nester like myself, grandparent also like myself, if you have adult parents that you're caring for, you're an adult and you're caring for your elderly parents, appreciate all of the stages of your life. Every single stage is a miracle, and it is a gift and a blessing, and it's a vehicle for growth and for love, and it's good to be able to accept those changes, those seasons, and those stages in our lives with grace, so that we can continue to embrace each one, because we're not going to stop growing. Like the only 2 real true things that we are all certain of is that we are born and we die. Everything else, we can't say for certain, but those are the number 1 and 2 things, is that we're born and we die. So embracing your life and the stage that you're in is key to making sure that you understand that you can be happy in this moment, right here, right now. And it doesn't matter, if you used to be a teenager and your boobs sat up real high and your butt was really, firm, and you looked like amazing. But now you're like in your 80s and things are not as high. Like, it's a stage of life, and that's okay. If we look at nature and we see like trees, and I'll just say trees, for instance. Trees are not out there, as far as we know, they're not out there comparing themselves to each other. They're just allowing the flow of life to happen. They're adapting. They're providing shade and nutrients for us, because trees provide nutrients for all of us, as far as like oxygen and food and shelter, like everything. But they're not out there worried about those things. They've just let go, and they're allowing the process of life to happen. So when we let go and we allow the process of life to happen with grace, we see the beauty in all of it, and all of the changes and fluctuations in our physical body. We can see them and we can appreciate them with love. And that brings me to the last thing, and that is to just remember to find happiness. There's happiness everywhere. If you look anywhere, you go to the store, just go to the store. Sometimes that is like a vacation in itself, leaving your home and just going to Walmart and walking around, or going to a park and walking around and seeing people, smiling at people, allowing people to smile at you when you smile back, being kind to people, being genuine with people, being honest, finding happiness in the small moments in your day. The sun came up. There's happiness there. You made a beautiful cup of coffee. There's happiness there, or a beautiful cup of tea. Happiness there. You had a delicious smoothie bowl and your whole inside, you can feel it lighting up. There's happiness there. Your cat walking across the room and you just like watching their tail. There's happiness there. Basically, you can find happiness anywhere. So continuously find the happiness, find the joy, the beauty in each moment. And so with that being said, I just wanted to talk about, how we can cultivate a life that we don't need a vacation from, because honestly, no matter where you go, there you are. So if you feel like you need a vacation from your life and you go all the way to Jamaica, you're still going to be right there. And the things that you're thinking that you need a vacation from are still going to be there as well. But when you can allow all of those things to just be and to embrace life, then you can feel like that peace inside that you don't have to just take a vacation. I'm not saying not to go to Jamaica, not to take vacations, but it's good to know that you don't have to run off to go somewhere else to feel that peace that you need, to have that break that you need. You can have that right here, right now, anytime you want. It's always available. And so, with that being said, I will end today's episode here. Thank you so much for listening, being here, being yourself, being amazing, wherever you are. Have a wonderful morning, afternoon, and night. Until next time.